name is Euan Massey. I'm a director at MDA Attorneys. Today I'm discussing treated as accepted compensation events and programs under the NEC 3 and NEC 4 contracts. The compensation events procedure in the NEC contract consists of different stages, and each of those stages require that there be cooperation between the contractor and the project manager. And in previous editions of the NEC contract, there were difficulties in following the procedure because when it came to the project manager replying to certain notices or quotations from the contractor, if they weren't replied to timeously, the entire process would stall. The NEC 3 contract introduces several hold points in the procedure where if the project manager doesn't respond to a notice or to a quotation within the required time periods, there is the ability for the contractor to issue a notice, and for that notice, further notice, or the quotation to become treated as accepted. And what I mean by treated as accepted is that there is a deemed acceptance of either the notice of compensation event or the quotation that has been submitted by the contractor to the project manager in relation to that compensation event. Under the NEC 3, as with the other NEC contracts, there is an accepted program against which all compensation events are measured. Like the compensation event procedure that was changed in the NEC 3, the NEC 4 has now introduced a treated as accepted program. And the reason for that is that project managers were reluctant to accept programs in previous versions of the contract, and the NEC drafting committee obviously thought that it was necessary to include a similar process to have programs to be treated as accepted. So under the NEC 4, just like the compensation events procedure, now if a program is not accepted within a certain time period, the contractor can give a notice to the project manager, and if he doesn't reply within a certain time period, the program becomes treated as accepted. What we find is that in practice, once a compensation event becomes treated as accepted, that doesn't necessarily mean that the project manager is going to certify payment for that compensation event. And therefore, in practice, what usually happens is that the contractor will include the treated as accepted compensation event in their application for payment, and the payment won't be certified by the project manager. And that leaves the only option available to the contractor to refer the non-certification of the treated as accepted compensation event to dispute in relation to W1 or W2. The employer can dispute a treated as accepted compensation event. In fact, it's one of the identified disputes in the adjudication table. The difficulty for employers, if they don't do that, is there are, particularly in clause W1, there are time-barring provisions which state that if the employer doesn't notify and refer that particular dispute to an adjudicator within the required time periods, then they cannot refer that dispute to the adjudicator or to the tribunal, which acts as a bar to them disputing the treated as accepted compensation event.